Hey guys, I hope the light's not too bad. I can see my ring light in my glasses. I wanted to give a different background. And my little crystal ball here I got from Temu. It's humongous. I wish you could see how big it is. It's like this big around. I was asked by one of my subscribers what my journey was to become vegan. Well, I hope I can squeeze it down because it's a long story, and I'll try and do the condensed version of it. I've been sick for 20-something years. I was having GI issues, and the doctor said, oh, it's irritable bowel. Oh, not enough fiber. Ate more fiber. Had a problem. Oh, too much fiber. Slowed down on my fiber. It was this big, long, it just didn't stop. And, you know, way back when, you know, I believed in my doctors mostly. And I was also drinking a lot of beer. I was with an alcoholic. I wasn't a drunk or anything. We just had beer. And I thought, well, sometimes the darker beers got me sick. And then I knew dairy had an issue. So I was getting sick on dairy. I knew that from ice cream. Hold on, let me see if I can move this ring light. There, is that better? Okay. Yeah, if I eat ice cream, almost instantly sick. In the bathroom, almost sick. And then I started getting sick 3 days in a row. And I knew meat was bothering me. It's like my body was saying, don't eat meat. Every time I'd have steak or something, I would be sick for days. 3 days. And it just stuck in my head. So this went on for years. And way back, I think 2010, my son was in 8th grade, one of my twins, Austin, and he watched one too many PETA videos, and he swore off meat. So I'd always wanted to look into a vegan diet. I knew it was better for you, and, you know, I don't like, first off, it's the health part of it that I agree with, and then second, it's our factory farming. Something has to be done. They're animals. They have feelings. End of story. So we went vegan. Him and I, and my daughter Daisy, except she still ate. Elliot. She still, there's nobody near him. She still ate cheese. And to this day, she's just a couple weeks ago, she said, I think she is lactose intolerant, but she loves cheese. She goes, I think I'm going to have to give up cheese. Which I'm so happy for. But anyway, we did this for a year, and it was so bad. There was nothing in the stores. The only thing we had was tofurkey, which was the roast. And we had that for Thanksgiving, him and I, Austin. And I didn't even know how to make gravy then. My daughter's godfather, he was a raw vegan at the time. And he sent us a cookbook. And till this day, I have still not found some of the ingredients in this cookbook. I am getting hit by the sun here. There we go. Right there. Is that better? Oh, it keeps shining off my nose. Hold on a minute. There we go. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so that cookbook really didn't do anything for me. There really wasn't any books at the library. The computer, Google was just, you know, I don't know. There wasn't anything. We really had a hard time. They did have this chocolate pudding. I think it was a tofu based. It was absolutely delicious, and I have never found it since, even going back up to New York, where we lived at the time. That store's out of business now, and that was the only place I found it, and it was just so delicious. Now I know how to make it with just an avocado. Just cut open an avocado, smash it up with some raw cacao or cocoa, and some maple syrup. That's it. You have a pudding, you have a spread like Nutella. I eat it with crackers, I eat it with apple slices. It's delicious. I now know, like, all these shortcuts. I can veganize anything. So we were vegan for a year then, and now at the time before that, I was only eating chicken and salmon and tilapia. That's the only things that ever agreed with me. Meat did not. It just got me sick, and I was starting to think, what is it that, you know, that's making me ill? And then my body's saying, don't eat that. And we didn't know anything about alpha-gal syndrome. So I went back to eating chicken, kind of. And then about almost 9 years ago, I decided to research all the medications I was on. At the time, I was suffering from depression. I couldn't sleep. I had lost my oldest son in a car accident, him and his pregnant wife. My sister took custody of my grandchildren. She has poisoned their minds against the whole family anyway, but long story. Some people just get what they want, and other people just get shit on. Always shit on. And lost my train of thought again. So the doctors put me on, and I have back issues. I have arthritis since I was in my early 20s throughout a lot of my body. I've had 9 arthritis surgeries. I already had a toe joint replaced. I need a new knee. I have 4 herniated discs. I have spinal stenosis. I've had bone spurs in each vertebrae since I was 23, 24. So the doctor put me on morphine. And all my jobs were physical. At the time, I was managing a boarding kennel. And I was the only employee, so I took care of the boarding kennel. And at times we had 60 dogs and had cats, birds inside. And then I was working for the daughter as a bather and a groomer. So sometimes I'd have, after my kennel job, I'd have to do my grooming work. And I was still raising kids. And at one point, I had 4 jobs. I was a cook for an after-school program. I worked a kennel. I worked the grooming. And then I babysat for my groomer. She had twins and then a little baby. I was busy. And I was in pain. The doctor put me on morphine. I was on morphine for 15 years. And it didn't do anything for my pain. But it helped my GI issues slow down. So I was kind of normal. I've never been normal in those 20 years. But we stayed on that. And then I was on Xanax for sleep. And then Trazodone for sleep. Gabapentin for nerve pain. A high blood pressure pill, which I'm still on, which I'd like to get off. Owen, get away. Owen, sorry, go. And now, past 7 years now, I have a spastic bladder now. Sucks getting old, right? So I'm on that pill, and I'm on my high blood pressure pill. So I researched all these pills, and I didn't just research, like, say gabapentin, and just read what Google had to say. Hold on a minute. Get in your room. Go on. Get in there. Stay. I went into each thing of each pill. And then I also researched what pills have a reaction to other pills. And I had 2 that were reacting to each other, causing me symptoms. So if I go to the doctor and say, hey, I have this symptom now, she'd give me another pill. Or he would, wherever I was living, and what doctor I had. So I went cold turkey. I stopped taking gabapentin, trazodone, Xanax, and morphine. Cut them out. And once the withdrawals from the morphine and the Xanax, that took about a couple months. But I would be driving down the road, and all of a sudden, I wouldn't know where I was. Like, if my daughter was with me, like, Daisy, I don't recognize anything. And it would go on for like 30 seconds. And she'd be like, you're okay, you're driving straight, just keep going. And all of a sudden, the surrounding area would, oh, okay, now I know where I am. And I told my doctor, and she just blew it off. And they were like mini seizures from either withdrawals or just the long-term side effects from these drugs. So it's taken many years. I've been off those medications now 11 years, probably about 11 years now. And at that same time, I've been a vegan 8 years, 9 years, something like that. I went vegan too. Just went cold turkey with those, went vegan, and I felt amazing. I felt the inflammation leaving my body. My doctors are like, what do you mean? I wanted to pull up a picture to show you of what I looked like back then. I was bloated. And because I was drinking beer, and I was bloated. I was 190 pounds, and I'm now 160. I lost 30 pounds. And of course now I got all this, but I would rather look like this than look like that bloated mess that I did. And I knew being a vegan and eating plant-based was the way to be healthy. And there is a plant in this world for us for every ailment we have. We start out eating plants. Come on now. We ate plants before we ate animals. So I will be a vegan forever. And then 3 years ago, 2.5, it was December, when I went to my son's house in Virginia, his wife has alpha-gal, which is from the Lone Star tick, the Texas tick. It's now, I think, in almost all 50 states. I was just reading an article the other day about an updated article on it. This tick bites you and it releases a sugar molecule, and it causes you to not be able to process meat, mostly beef. I don't eat anything that's animal related. If I'm going to be vegan, I'm going to be vegan. Just all of those things, everything seems to bother me. So she said I was getting sick at her house a lot, and we had all these same symptoms. And I had been bit again by a bunch of ticks at their house, right behind the knee. They're in Virginia. I don't know why they kept biting me behind the knee. It would take weeks for the bug bite to go away. It would be red and inflamed. So she's like, you know, when you get back to Colorado, go to your doctor and ask for an alpha-gal test. And I did, and my doctor had no idea what I was talking about. Again, it was the second time now I had to educate her on something, which was no big deal. I mean, a lot of doctors just don't, if they're not in the area where things are, they don't look at it. And the sun is bugging me. Sorry. Let me move over here. There we go. Is that better? It's a bad time of day, and I had to get this video out. So when I got back, I was tested for alpha-gal, and it came back positive. So now I knew what this diagnosis was and why I've been sick for 20-some years. And, I mean, I don't want to be graphic, but my GI issues were so bad that there was times when I couldn't hold it. And I was in my 40s. That was not something I wanted to deal with, you know. And no one, like, you tell the doctor, and like, oh, we'll try this and this. And so now I know, and I've pieced this all together. And when I first started being vegan, if I'd eat something that I didn't know wasn't completely vegan, it had, you know, beef tallow in it or something like that, like McDonald's French fries, I would get sick. So now I know that the alpha-gal syndrome and meat is what my issue is. And when I went vegan, I became, I would say, about 85% better. There's still some things that I'm still working on. Like, I had to go to the pharmacist. I had to make sure the pharmacy knew that my medications, the 2 that I'm on now, and even my inhaler wasn't vegan. I have asthma. So it's written in my chart. Everything has to be vegan. With the shingles that I'm dealing with now, they wanted to put me on the antiviral vaccine. Well, that's not vegan. That has a gelatin in it. And, I mean, I wasn't going to take it anyway, but that's something I just wanted to make sure that they wrote in my chart at Walgreens. So that is basically my vegan journey. I just knew that being vegan would be so much better for me. I would be healthier, which I am. And, I mean, I'm 62 years old. And I feel like I'm 32. Yeah, there's days when I feel like I'm 82. I do have arthritis. But I feel fabulous. And it's also a mental, a mind thing. You know, I try and be positive. I haven't stayed up on my yoga lately. I just haven't had the room in here. But when I'm doing yoga every day, even if it's just stretching and meditation, I've found that meditation, just sitting and just practicing some breathing. I follow a guy on Instagram, Yogi Brian. He wants to release, this might not be for everybody, my daughter's not interested, but he wants to release 1 billion fucks. And he will say the word fuck throughout his little 1 minute or 30-second meditation. He's funny. He's a good-looking man. He's tattooed. He's a cutie. And I will sit when his videos will come up when I'm scrolling through Instagram. I will stop what I'm doing, and I'll practice this little meditation for a minute. And it really works. Just the breathing alone, you can feel the tension leave your body. I mean, take a minute out of your life and just breathe. And to see how different you feel. It lowers your blood pressure. You'll just feel better. Oh, and before I forget, I did start following a couple when I first went vegan. A couple people on YouTube. I haven't followed these people in years, though. Pick Up Limes. She's really good. And this young girl, she's always on Instagram. Fit Green Mind. She makes simple recipe. Gaz Oakley, he gets a little fancy, but he's a good-looking man, too. And Andrew Bernard, I don't watch many of his videos, but the ones I do, he's a very simple cook like I am, with just normal ingredients. And Broccoli Mom, she is on Instagram. She lost, I think, 60 pounds. She uses a lot of recipes with sweet potatoes. She has some really good easy, easy recipe. So it's pick up limes, because she had told her husband to pick up limes one day. Fit Green Mind, Gaz Oakley, Andrew Bernard, and Broccoli Mum, M-U-M. Those are the ones that I like, and they're very simple ingredients that they use in the recipes. And I found this book for $5 at Five Below. This is a great book. It has a recipe for every picture, which I think is fabulous. And the recipes are so easy. Just simple ingredients that we all have. And I found out that you don't need to be a cook. You really just need to, like, what are some of my favorite, like pasta. Pasta with just fresh vegetables. Just saute them a little bit. I don't even use butter a lot of times. I'll use water or vegetable broth. And use broth instead of stock. It's better flavor. And then just add them to the top of your noodles. You don't even need red sauce. And it's just so good. Nutritional yeast is a mainstay in my pantry. I go through so much nutritional yeast, I should have stock in the company. You can make a cheese sauce with it. It goes on everything. Avocado toast. I now just toast up some bread. Just smash some avocado on it. I cut up some tomatoes. I have the grape tomatoes I did yesterday. And some nutritional yeast. And then I just drizzle a little bit of honey. Yes, I'm a vegan who eats honey. Honey has a lot of health benefits for you. My daughter and I raised some bees here. I belong to the Bee Club of Western Slope, Colorado for a little bit. I learned a lot. And I will always eat, no matter where I go, I'll pick up raw honey in that area to help with my allergies. I don't buy just regular old honey that's mass-produced on mass bee farms. That's where I draw the line. They don't treat their bees ethically. Is that the way it is? They don't treat them kindly, okay? Backyard beekeepers here in the area usually treat their bees with respect. And that's the kind of honey I like to buy. Well, I hope I've answered questions. And if anybody has any questions, just feel free to put them in the comments, and I'll help you along your vegan journey if you need it. Spices and herbs. You've seen my spice cabinet. Ooh, that's a mess right now. Flavors your food. Soups are an easy vegan meal, and now it's so easy. We can go to the store and we can get ricotta cheese. We can make lasagna. There's so many things now that are vegan friendly. And yeah, they may not be the healthiest, but dairy isn't either. So, you know, the cheeses have just come a long way, and there are some simple recipes to make your own cheese. I'm going to be doing that soon, so I'm going to do a video on that. What did I do today? What did I make today? I made something tonight, filmed it. I was going to tell you about it. Gosh darn it, what was it? Well, I made burgers out of the textured vegetable protein. They came out really well. My daughter's making magic bars. Those are vegan, because now they make coconut sweetened condensed milk. And everything else you put in there, make sure your chocolate chips are vegan graham crackers, and coconut. That's it. But what the heck did I make? I made broccoli salad. And I filmed it, and all I used was vegan mayonnaise. Everything else was vegan. And be surprised. People are blown away when I tell them, oh, I could never eat vegan. Like 90-something% of your diet is already vegan. Already vegan. If you take out meat and dairy, what's left? Vegetable starch, you know, rice, pasta, beans, canned beans, fruit, vegetables. That's all vegan. You're already eating it. You're already eating it. You're eating bread, vegan. Some of it's not, but some of it is. And they're like, and then you'll see their brain thinking about it, and they're like, oh, wait a minute, you're right. But they don't want to say, oh no, I'm a meat eater. Well, you're a meat eater, but you're still eating vegan food. All right, guys. My neighbors are leaving. Like I said, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask. I'll try and answer them. This is already at 19 minutes. I was trying to make this short. But that's my vegan journey. And I'm so glad I live in a world now that veganism is now being accepted. And more people are hopping on the board. And there's more restaurants now. And it's easier for us to eat. I mean, I still have an issue because of the alpha-gal syndrome. And look that up. Alpha-gal, A-L-P-H-A-G-A-L syndrome. I did have a video on it, so if you look back in my videos, there is one there. But that's it. All right, guys, I will talk to you later.